I'm making this video today just to talk briefly about consistency. I made a short this morning that I've posted, and it's talking about consistency. I've met so many people in my life, older women, who I felt looked really good. It has always been very important for me, even from when I was much younger, to try and look good for as long as I could. Not just from the aesthetic or physical point of view, but also from the health point of view. I have a family history of all kinds of things. And so for me, it's not just looks, it's also to do with health. And all the people that I have known, we have an old surgeon who we work with, and she's a phenomenal lady. And I remember sitting one day while one of my kids was going through a procedure, and I was reading through the brochures in her surgery, and she had graduated 20 years or something like that before the time that we were in the surgery. And I remember thinking, um, why, like I remember thinking 20 years ago, I was trying to do the math, right? I was trying to do the math, thinking, well, if she graduated 20 years ago, 20 years from today was so and so year. So assuming she went through school on time, at that point, you have to work with how shall I put it? You have to work with the earliest option. So let's assume that she finished school, she finished her undergrad at 22, she went to medical school, which would take her to, I'm sorry, I think medical or dental school, which would take her to 26. And let's say she did residency for I don't know how long. And it just dawned on me that this woman is not, or was not that young. So I started looking, looking at some of the stuff that she had done, and it dawned on me that she was 62, I think, at the time. I was so shocked. I was so shocked. And when she came out again, I kept looking at her and she kept saying to me, is everything okay? Are you concerned? I said, no, I'm fine. But what I was looking at was the fact that she was that age and she looked so good. And I wondered, how do you get to be 62 and you look this young? Yes, she had a son, I think, and that was her only child. And I said, well, maybe she just had one child. And I thought to myself, no, that's not the only reason. And it really got me thinking how you can look that good at that age. At that point in time, I think it was probably, I want to say about 2016, I think, or thereabouts. I had already embarked on a journey where I wanted to lose weight and get healthier and improve my A1C. So I looked at myself and I thought, well, I'm doing this now. I'm going running, exercising every day. I'm watching what I eat or what I ate, and it's working for me. So, how is it that I can do this so that I can be 60 and look that good? And I kept thinking about it, it's consistency, it's consistency doing the same thing consistently, doing the same thing every single day, not giving up, not taking long breaks and not going back. If you're running 3 times a week, it's consistently running 3 times every week, not running 3 times this week, 2 times next week, maybe once the week after, and then you eventually stop. Or when you become ill and you think, oh gosh, I'm ill, I can't run, and so why don't I just stop, Or you just see things, or people say things and say, well, it's not sustainable. You're not going to be able to do that for the rest of your life. Or how can you do this? How can you continue to avoid eating a lot of these kind of foods for the rest of your life? And sometimes when those questions come up, or when people talk about things like that, it does come across as difficult to keep up, as if you can't really, it's not sustainable. But it is sustainable. It's one day at a time. It's to think about where you're going. What am I trying to achieve? I want to be healthy at 60 so I can still do the things that I'm doing today. How do you get there? Well, how are you getting by today? You're exercising every day. Yes, that's fine. So one day at a time. You exercise today, you exercise tomorrow, you just carry on with your routine. You can see I'm sweating. I'm still getting the hot flashes, and it's doing the same thing. It's not giving up, it's having that routine. It can even come to the point of what you're eating, what your meals are. I've watched a few videos where I think it was one of the intermittent fasting doctors, and he said something about um, eating the same meals every day. And eating the same meals every day is consistency. Is consistently doing the same thing over and over again, even though it's boring, even though sometimes you want to give up. But if you continue to do the same thing every day, however often you do it, just keep to that routine. If you continuously do the same thing every single day, then you are going to get there. If you're going to fast, for instance, that's why it's really important for you to embark on things that are sustainable. If you know you're going to fast and you want to do one meal a day, you have to consider that you might want to do this for the rest of your life, possibly. So that gets you to a point where you're thinking about, can I do this every single day? Can I be consistent with this? Is it sustainable? If it's not, then for me, it's better for you to do 16 hours fasting, 8 hours eating space that you can keep up with consistently every single day for the rest of your life than doing something that is going to be very difficult to manage for the rest of your life. So, consistency, sustainability, those are all important. And set yourself a goal that is achievable. Don't do things that you can't achieve. Don't say, I'm not going to eat cakes ever again, because you can't do that. You can't say that you can do that for the rest of your life. So consistency is about having a routine, creating a routine that is sustainable, that is comfortable, that is achievable, and then repeating that routine constantly, continuously. If you're going to fast 16 hours and eat over 8 hours, you do that every single day, every single week for the rest of your life. I can see me achieving that if I set myself those goals. And that has really helped me. So now I'm not looking at 10 years ahead. I'm looking at tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow I get to run and I get to take a break on Thursday. And then I run again on Friday. On Saturdays, I go with my husband. And that's kind of like a chill time. I will run, but I probably won't run what I usually do. And that's fine. And we take a break on a Sunday. And then you just continue to do that, and that is consistency, and that will definitely get you there. I hope you have found this I hope you have found this very helpful. I'm not going to edit this, and until my next video, you take care and keep being consistent. Goodbye.